Hello and welcome back to another episode of a podcast about something. Today we are doing a podcast about superhero battles. We've got 5 battles on tap, and this is something every kid at some point has discussed of who would win a fight in this versus this. We're going to go kind of by the book. I'm going to be taking the DC characters. Eric here is going to be taking Marvel characters. And we narrowed it down a little. Yeah, I don't know about that. So we've got 5-on-5. We're going to see at the end who wins more battles, and that is obviously going to be the winner.
And help us be the judge.
Yeah, we'll put up a Twitter poll on this at APA something, and you guys can vote. For this, we narrowed it down a little bit. We're not taking all history of each character because we don't have that much time on our hands to figure out all of the history on each character. We don't want to bore you
for 6 hours.
That too. So we just took one version, whether it be one movie series or one television series or video game series. Mm-hmm. We just took one version of each character, so we don't have this massive catalog to go back through.
You're wearing a Thor shirt, by the way.
Yo, we're not there yet. I'm also wearing Batman socks, so it works out. They cancel each other out. So we're going to start. Our first battle is going to be the CW version of The Flash, Grant Gustin, versus you wanted the X-Men Quicksilver.
I'll take the X-Men. It's a little more developed than the MCU version, so I think that's there's more content to.
Yeah, he had 2 movies instead of just one.
Exactly.
To go off of. Yeah.
Go ahead with the Flash from.
So both of these guys, they're pretty even. They have the same power set, super speed. They have enhanced strength and recovery because of their super speed. With the Flash, he's got a problem. He tries to put it all on himself. He's got some inner demons he's got to work out. But here's what I'm going to say about the Flash in the CW: is not only is he great and fast and speedy, he's got this whole team of people behind him helping him out. He's got, Cisco, who's an expert hacker and has his own set of powers. He's got Caitlin.
Chair guy.
That's Cisco. Well, he's got like 4 chair guys now. He's got Caitlin Snow, who's an actual medical doctor, so when he does get hurt beyond his normal healing powers, she can help him out with that.
Plus, she's like a fast Daredevil.
A little bit, yeah. And she turns into Killer Frost every once in a while and really screws people up, but she can't really control herself when she's Killer Frost.
So she's also like a super being.
Yes. Okay. She and Cisco both are. And then he's got his surrogate father, Joe West, who's an expert detective, can help him track down the bad guys when needed. You can go ahead and give your opening arguments for Quicksilver, but I don't know where you're going to go with
it. This is one of those I've not quite conceded.
You should probably just concede right now.
But I will give the Flash the benefit of the doubt here and say that, I think in a battle, I think the Flash is a little more seasoned because Quicksilver is just a kid living in the basement of his mother's house when they find him.
That's true.
He does help. He does, and I think this is something that needs to be explored here. He gets who they presume killed JFK out of his cell block.
That's true.
And that was all Quicksilver. Okay, so he basically stops time and gets everything done in that respect, and then moves on and goes on into Apocalypse, and he gets his leg broken because it's Apocalypse that foils him in the end. But he was still very, very useful.
Apocalypse in that movie.
And in fact, I will say that one thing: Quicksilver gets Mystique up to, or Raven up to Magneto in Apocalypse. And gets him to kind of think about what in the hell Magneto's actually doing in helping Apocalypse achieve his goals. So, with that said, Quicksilver's kind of instrumental to the X-Men in these last couple of movies, Days of Future Past as well as Apocalypse. He's instrumental in the fact that, hey, he's not expendable. They actually did go out of their way to save him.
The MCU was way expendable.
Well, he was way expendable. That's why we're not talking about that one, because that one's dead.
I ride for Evan Peters over Aaron Taylor Johnson any day too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I lean a little more Aaron Taylor Johnson just because I like I liked him in Godzilla. I liked him in Godzilla. Him and Elizabeth Olsen. I mean, it's just it's all good. And then the fact that they came back together in Ultron was kind of fun. So anyway, that version was, in my opinion, instrumental. You couldn't quite make sense of anything that he could do besides just be fast. Just because that's all he was used for.
In Apocalypse, he saved a lot of people in the exploding school.
And that was probably
like 50
that
people.
Was probably in Apocalypse. That might have been the most fun scene in that entire movie.
Well, I think between that and Days of Future Past, his scenes were definitely the best scenes.
Oh my goodness! But I still don't think that, even though you kind of hampered me with giving me this Quicksilver versus Flash.
The Flash, you want in the Marvel universe.
The Flash in
you want a speedster from the Marvel universe?
In his run on the CW has been developed and aired out and vetted so much more that you get a feel for what the Flash represents, what he's with, what he comes with. I don't think that you got that with Quicksilver, so I think that
he's got
just
one more
on that
movie.
surface level, I think the Flash takes it. But if they flesh out this Quicksilver character a little bit more and show maybe a little bit more of what he can do than run fast and get people out of danger fast.
He had some speed. They showed his speed, but here's what Barry Allen's coming to the table with. At the end of season 2, he ran so fast that he created a second version of himself. That dude ran and saved his surrogate father, Joe West, and then ran back and killed the bad guy as the original one kept running and running so fast that he died.
I'm lost.
So he can create separate versions of himself. He can run so fast and accomplish 2 tasks at once and beat the bad guy. I don't think Quicksilver can.
I haven't seen it yet, so I will concede this one to DC as far as speed heroes go.
Nice.
So,
all right.
Who we got next?
Let's move on to, we're going to go Thor, the Mighty Thor, versus Shazam.
This isn't even close.
You go first.
Okay. All right. So
you're going MCU.
MCU Thor.
And I went Injustice, Gods Among Us, the video game series for Shazam, because that's all he's really shown up in.
I have one statement, one sentence to sum this whole argument up. In Ragnarok, he beat Hulk.
Yeah, he beat Hulk.
That's it. That's all you need to know.
I mean, Shazam beats every person in the game, including Darkseid or whoever the villain was in that one.
I'm talking about, first we see him with his hammer, okay? And then he's a human.
Called Mjolnir.
And then he's a human. And then all of a sudden he gets his powers back. And then he destroys the Destroyer. And then goes on to defeat whatever villains like Loki has created in that sense. And then he helps the Avengers create... I don't understand why this is even a debate. Just because
Shazam
hold on. He is superhuman. He's thousands of years old.
So Shazam.
Okay, fine. But he is also he's an Asgardian god. He's the god of thunder. Lightning comes from his own body, and I'm just saying.
You're not giving me a chance to argue.
The MCU version of Thor, I think, is hands down probably, I want to say, up to this point, probably the most scary of the superheroes for any villain to face. Go ahead.
My dude's got the wisdom of Solomon.
Okay.
He's got the strength of Hercules. Dude is strong.
Is Hercules real, though? Have we
in this world, yes. He's got the stamina of Atlas.
Well, assuming Asgard's real.
Right. The power of Zeus. This dude has the power of Zeus.
Okay.
The god of all gods. Courage of Achilles. That's probably something. And the speed of Mercury. So he's got super speed, super stamina, super strength. He's invulnerable. He can fly. He's got magic lightning coming out of his fingers. I mean...
So, congrats to DC for creating another Superman.
He can teleport back and forth with his lightning. In his special move, what's he do? He uppercuts his enemy into the stratosphere, pummels him with a series of blows down back to the ground, then elbows the opponent back into the ground, grabs the enemy by the leg, spins his enemy around, and throws the opponent back into the ground.
This is from a video game.
Well,
right?
yeah. Thor's not in any video games as good as Injustice.
No, they haven't been able to make any good video games for the MCU quite yet.
No. My dude has got everything your dude's got.
Yeah, I think we'll err on the side of comic relief and just say Thor's funnier.
Yeah, well, that doesn't win you a battle, though. Dude's got power. He had to go through 10 different villains to get to the end, beat Superman, Beat Batman, beat the Green Lantern, all these
Beat
guys.
Superman.
Yeah.
Beat Superman? I mean, okay. In
Superman's tough to
this game, I guess, not even a movie where we could see it physically.
He hasn't been in a movie yet. When he's in Black Adam next year, then we can argue that.
Jack Shazam? Or was that a
No, it was
different one?
Kazam. He was
Sorry.
a genie.
Anyway,
Much different.
Yeah, I'm sure it was much different than that. But anyway, no. Thor, he's been an ingrained warrior from birth. He has been trained. He has everything he has.
Shazam is a 14-year-old boy who can yell Shazam and get all these cool powers.
You were giving me a little tip off that, you hit him hard enough, he turns into a 14-year-old boy. So that's it.
And then
Thor does not turn into a 14-year-old boy if you hit him hard enough.
But would Thor continue fighting if he was fighting against a 14-year-old boy?
I think that if he was looking at the person who represented all this that you just shared,
what if Captain America was there telling him, "Hey, dude, that's a kid"?
Well, I think that they lock him up. maybe Thor doesn't goad Captain America into killing
he doesn't bring him along
this
for this fight.
prisoner. All right, so
I
you have to decide this one, listeners. I'm sorry, I refuse to believe that MCU Thor would lose to a video game version of Shazam.
I refuse to believe that a video game version of anything would lose to anyone else.
So you have to decide this one for us. All right.
All right, let's move on to the next one. You guys help us figure that one out. Shazam's obviously the winner, though. So now we're going to go Catwoman from Batman Returns.
In case you didn't hear my eyes roll.
Versus Black Widow from... Where are you taking Black Widow
MCU.
from?
MCU.
You're doing
Black
MCU
Widow.
everywhere.
I'm not, yeah.
You should expand your interest.
No, I'm going to go with what I've seen on film and the abilities and the intelligence I've seen from the character I've chosen. And the Catwoman is essentially a cat burglar. She breaks in and out of things, and she's
got cat-like reflexes.
She's got cat-like reflexes. But here's my thing.
Keep the crap out of your face.
The Black Widow has extensive resources as far as being able to surveil, as far as being able to infiltrate, as far as being able to be 2-3 steps ahead of anything. Okay? She has shown the ability to defeat basically most combatants hand to hand.
You see,
so I'm going to go.
Catwoman doesn't have to get that close. She got that whip.
You really think that Black Widow doesn't have to do that? Yeah. So for the whip, you really think that that whip doesn't disintegrate as soon as she throws her hand up and those little electronic things around her wrist doesn't go up?
Yeah, then she attacks with her claws.
I think it's a great fight. I think it would be an awesome fight scene if these two ever got together on screen. However, I think the Black Widow has a few more tricks up her sleeve, and I think that the Black Widow is smarter, and I think she has more resources on her side than Catwoman, and I think that Black Widow just pulls it off.
So
I think
here's
she
where you
does
lose.
it in hands-down fashion.
I went with Batman Returns Catwoman.
Okay.
She literally had 9 lives. So you can think all you want. There's no way that Black Widow's going to know that once she kills her, she's still alive. So bam, she assassinates her.
After the second or third time, she'd figure it out.
But
she's like, wait, Cat, all right, I got to do this 6 more times.
That's where I gained my advantage, though. After the first time, Black Widow stops surveilling. She doesn't know anymore.
Well, after the second or third time, the rest of the Avengers just come and help her out. Like I said, resources. All right? So
can't bring in other Avengers, because then Batman's coming.
Yeah.
You're in trouble if Batman comes.
Oh, we'll get into that.
We'll go. Batman's
we'll get
coming.
into that. So, no, my whole
you
point is,
I just think once she comes back and finds you before you know she's even still alive.
You're talking about a woman that helped figure out how Ultron was able to keep getting in and out of places, sight unseen, undetected.
You're talking about a woman who's
You're talking about a very smart woman who's got she's got hacker intelligence. She's got.
I think everybody in movies has hacker intelligence nowadays. You can't hold that against Catwoman because it was 1992.
She's been doing it since movie number 2 of the MCU.
It's true.
Okay, so this has been long developed over time.
She beat the crap out of Happy Hogan too.
She did, and that wasn't even that hard. But my point being is, I just think that Black Widow would be able to see Catwoman coming a mile away.
The first time.
the first
She got
time.
8 more chances.
And after the second or third time, when it's still not over, she'd be like, wait, Cat, 9 lives. Okay, I got to kill this person.
I mean, but Catwoman did kill Christopher Walken and Danny DeVito in the same movie.
Big deal. Thank you. Thank you for
It's a good movie. You should
little
watch
side note.
Batman
I
Returns
need to
again.
rewatch
It's a great film.
Batman Returns.
Then watch Batman and Robin again.
No.
I love Batman and Robin.
Is that nipple suit Clooney?
No, it's not.
That's Val Kilmer?
Clooney. Yeah, no. Batman and Robin has Clooney, but Nipple Suit was
Batman
Kilmer.
Forever was...
Yeah, it was Nipple Suit,
Yeah.
yeah. Go back and watch Batman Returns. It holds up. All right, let's move on again. Battle number 4.
This is a good one.
I like this one. We got Captain America from
The MCU.
MCU again, yeah. And we got Wonder Woman from the new Justice League pile of trash extended universe. That's literally what it's
All
called.
right, stop. All right.
Wonder Woman.
Her movie was fantastic.
Great film.
The way she might have been used in other films can be a debate for another day. But I obviously am taking Cap's side here. And given the fact that she's a goddess, it's a little difficult to deal with. But I will say that I've seen Cap go against some pretty heavy-duty circumstances. He held his own, survived in a very short bout with Loki. If I'm making predictions for Infinity War, I don't quite...
Can't use movies that haven't come out yet.
Hold on, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I don't know if he survives Infinity War, and if I'm a betting man, I bet he doesn't. And so I don't think that he has that. I think while he has the strength to endure, I don't think he has the strength to survive. I think endurance is only it's temporary, especially if there's an ongoing war/battle. And I think if the two of these had to be caught in a particular situation where they had to go against each other to save their respective sides, Cap would do a fantastic job in defending himself and maybe buying others time. But in the end, I'm going to probably lean on the side of Wonder Woman just because she's got so much on her side that she's able to do just from her own powers as being a goddess. But Cap, with the shield, would be able to buy himself a lot of time. And I think he would be able to get a lot of shots in on Wonder Woman and make this very, very interesting. But I think in the end, and it would come down to the very end, I really do, it would just be Wonder Woman's advantage.
Yeah, so she's a god, literally daughter of Zeus. Again, a lot of gods on the DCU side.
Very creative DC.
Yeah, she's got her super strength. She lifts a tank in her movie. I don't know if you noticed that, but you got Cap there holding that helicopter with one arm, and
that was cool.
Yeah, that's great. So she's got more weapons in her arsenal than
Chris
Cap
Evans
does.
tore his bicep.
Oh yeah, he was literally doing it.
Yeah,
which is crazy. She's got her lasso of truth, which
we talked about this.
I don't know that it works against Cap.
The lasso of truth does not work against Cap because he's always going to tell you the truth. He might omit some things like he did in Civil War.
Yeah.
He didn't tell Tony everything. But if you held the lasso of truth to him, it's not like you get many new answers out of that. So
no, she's got her gauntlets on her wrists that are bulletproof, and she can do that little energy burst thing when she hangs them together. That's pretty dope.
Another thing, yeah. So
and she has a sword.
Yeah, that's tough for Cap to deal with.
Yeah,
so.
He doesn't have. He's got a shield. He's very good at throwing the shield, but once he throws the shield, he's kind of out of moves.
Especially
once you lock up that shield,
you saw in the Avengers where he first lined up against Loki and he threw the shield and Loki just used the scepter and smacked it down and he had no answer. None.
What are you gonna do now?
He goes, kneel. And then, I guess he fought back a little bit, but Cap wasn't winning that fight even against Loki. So, and I'll take Wonder Woman over Loki as much as I love Loki. So, anyway, I'm conceding kindly this one to Wonder Woman. That character is hands down one of the strongest I've ever seen.
Yeah, so. She was good. All right, so Wonder Woman wins again. So I got Wonder Woman 1, obviously, the Flash 1.
Okay.
We'll go.
We'll leave a couple others up for debate.
Yeah.
For you guys to decide. I mean, honestly, we couldn't come to an agreement. And this is probably going to be another one that we won't be able to come to an agreement on. But
we got the main
necessary argument that I haven't heard.
What we all came for.
I haven't heard anybody make this argument on any podcast I've listened to, and I don't get that deep into iTunes, the podcast networks, or anything like that to try to listen to what's going on with the MCU or all that kind of stuff, but I haven't heard anybody really tackle this. And you have two pretty much guys cut from the same cloth.
Yep.
And become very different things. And, go ahead and take it from here.
So we got Batman from the Dark Knight trilogy and Iron Man from the
MCU.
It's 1960s cartoon. Oh, the MCU you're going with. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go too deep into this battle arc, I watched The Dark Knight Rises again in preparation for this podcast because I hadn't seen it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people got nitpicks about The Dark Knight Rises. I've got a nitpick about your nitpicks world. The biggest one I hear is him getting out of the cave, getting back to Gotham, and then taking the time to emblazon his insignia up on the building.
That takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, but here's the thing I noticed while watching today. When the bomb is first armed, they talk to Lucius Fox. Bruce Wayne is already in the prison at this point. So they talk to Lucius Fox. He says, we've got 23 days for it to go off. So Bruce Wayne has already started healing at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got 23 days to finish healing, get out of the pit, and get back to Gotham with 12 hours left on them. When he gets back, there's like 12 hours left on the bomb, they say. So that's 22 days for him to figure out how to get out of the pit. That's enough time to get out of the pit and get to Gotham.
I mean, how in the hell do they get him out of there and into the pit? Because wasn't the pit said to be somewhere in Asia?
I believe it's in the Middle East, yeah.
Okay, so the pit's somewhere in Asia, which means that not only is he...
Well, Bane got him there because Bane knows where it is. Bane got him there. That's easy.
Yeah, but how does he get... I mean, you have to understand. The whole city is surrounded by military surveillance.
But he's Bruce Wayne, and we'll get into this when we have
Not into it. I'm talking, how does Bane get him out of it?
Oh, because he got him out before they locked down the city. They hadn't locked down the city when he got him out.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
Literally just watched it.
Go ahead.
So he's got 23 days to get out of the pit, out of the Middle East. Even though he doesn't have any money at this point, he still has connections.
He's got 2 weeks to overcome a major vertebrae injury.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Well,
you're giving him a week to get back.
A week to get back, and then to walk around and say,
but he had already started
find Catwoman, or find Anne Hathaway, and he's got to walk around, and then he's got to figure out a way with his bad back to get up the bridge. He doesn't have a bad back.
He's healed.
To get up the bridge.
Build the building.
You know,
but he still has access to the bat at the Batwing.
It was the side of a bridge, wasn't
it? No. They were walking. I paid attention. They were walking out on the ice next to the bridge, but the bat signal was on a building.
All right.
So he's got the Batwing. He can fly the Batwing up to the building, make his little fire mark, and then go.
Listen, I'm being completely agreeable with you because these two, like The Dark Knight, is obviously in my top 3 of favorite superhero movies of all time.
That's one of the best movies
I'm not a DC hater. I just like MCU that much more. Point being is, Dark Knight Rises failed to live up to The Dark Knight, but it's still a good
very movie. Good.
So I'm not nitpicking. I'm just trying to pick apart your argument.
That was my point, though. Is everybody picks apart this thing that there's no way he could get back. He had 3 weeks to heal and get back, and he's working out, and the healing. Yeah, it probably takes longer than 3 weeks to heal from that much of a back injury. But let's just say he's Bruce Wayne and he's strong and he knows what he's doing. And so at that point, yeah, he doesn't have any money, but he still knows everybody. Like he can figure out who to call to come get him wherever the hell he is in the Middle East. So then he gets back. He takes an hour or two to make his little bat symbol on the building to let people know he's back, because that's why he did it. He did it to strike fear back in Bane and his crew. It wasn't.
That's what that symbol stands for.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a, he likes his flair, but so I don't like that people pick that out, because I think they miss that middle part where it's not just he's got 12 hours to get healed, get back, and make that sign. Like I don't think he wasted as much time as people think he did on that.
I never thought about it that way either. To be honest with you.
Like it makes sense, because at some point it has to make sense, because it's a movie and you can't have the movie hold your hand through everything. You just have to imagine that he's Bruce Wayne and he figured it out.
Because you're sitting in a theater, not everything needs to make complete.
And so let's go into this. He's Bruce Wayne. He'll figure it out. Mm-hmm. Batman versus Iron Man. Let's go. So let's just go strengths first. We'll go strength versus strength. Mm-hmm. So Batman's strengths: he's the world's greatest detective. He's rich. Genius intellect. He's always 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead of his guy. Right. What do you got for Iron Man for strengths?
Same thing, except for maybe not world's greatest detective.
Not a great
That's
detective.
a good advantage.
Leaves that to Black
That's
Widow.
a good advantage for Bruce Wayne, but he's exceptionally rich to the point where he's able to
Yeah, I think
support
the
the
rich
Avengers and
washes each
buy
other out.
skyscrapers in New York.
In the Justice League pile of trash extended universe, I mean, he literally describes his superpowers. I'm rich. Batman does.
Oh yeah, in
Yeah.
the DCEU, he's
We're gonna
got
go with
genius
Justice League
intellect,
pile of trash.
obviously, and you know what? He's not quite 2 steps ahead, but he can see some things coming.
Yeah,
He can see
good.
some things coming. He's able to read the room and see what's going on. He's often reckless. However, he's very quick to right his wrongs. And so any disadvantage that he creates for himself,
He does that a lot.
and he does that a lot, but he's able to make up for because of his genius intellect. I think he's
I'll give you that.
ambitious, and I think he sets out for things in an even greater ambition than maybe Bruce Wayne does. And I think that's an advantage over Wayne, is that
Okay.
some of the things that Iron Man might create for himself might be too much for Batman to handle.
Yeah, Batman would never create a sentient artificial intelligence that's bent on destroying the world. He lets Joker
No.
do that for him.
No, and I just want to point out
But I
that
think
was
that's
not
a strength
intentional.
of Batman.
Nobody meant for that to happen.
He won't
Okay,
create
it
the
just
world
happened, and it was the Mind Stone's fault. Okay, it wasn't anybody's fault.
So here's where I got you, though. Let's talk about gadgets.
You got me.
Iron
Okay, here's where
Man
you
has
got me.
literally one gadget, his suit. Now, there are different versions of this one gadget, and he's got 60 different of this one gadget. Batman's he's got the bat wing, he's got the bat pod, he's got the tumbler, he built this super knee when he tore his ACL that he just kicked through a brick wall in The Dark Knight Rises. He's got his suit, he's got a cape that allows him to fly. And here's where I really got you. Dark Knight Rises, he uses an EMP rifle. You know what an EMP is going to do to Iron Man's suit? No mas. He's going to fall right out of the sky. Jarvis can't help him if he gets EMP'd. What are you going to do now?
Oh, I'm so silent because I'm so scared.
What are you going to do when you get EMP'd?
EMP?
Yeah.
You really think Tony Stark doesn't have an EMP sort of deterrent?
No.
You really think that the very one thing that his
I
suit
haven't
needs to
seen
run on?
But see, we can't go on,
We can't go on
assumptions because you have to go what's in the film series you chose, and he has shown no EMP deflector of any sort.
All I'm saying is, the super knee, fine. I watched Iron Man kick an entire Rolls Royce out of the way in Iron Man 2.
That's
All
true.
right. This
Can't kick
whole
a Batwing though.
the bat, he can fly. What's the difference? So he hops in the Batwing and he flies to where he has to go. Iron Man's just like, and I'm gone. Okay, so
That's true.
that's it. And he can also fight with the Batwing if he ever needed to, mano a mano. So
I don't know. He can go mano a mano.
you mean the unibeam from the chest wouldn't cut right through that Batwing?
All right, then he falls right onto the
Then
bat
he
pod.
falls right on the bat pod. Okay, bat pod. And then here comes Iron Man in his suit. Oh, wait,
And
I
here comes
caught
the
you. You
tumbler.
fell into the bat pod. I'm going to go ahead and pew, 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 with my hands. And
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how it goes.
So I just think there's an answer for everything. And yes, you're right.
There is an answer.
I cannot assume that Tony Stark is EMP ready. However, I did watch Thor pretty much blast lightning at him and then enhanced his suit by 5 times. And he was
That's
able
because it
to...
brought the power in.
Exactly.
You
But
can't bring the power of an EMP. That's not how EMPs work.
point being is, I think that there was something as rudimentary as an EMP, I think that maybe Stark might be more ready for than other superheroes. I know that's a weak argument to have.
It
but
is a
I'm
weak argument
going
because-
but I'm going to go ahead and assume that he has something along those lines that makes him more relevant than an EMP.
All right, but see, here's where you're wrong.
Okay.
Maybe he is EMP ready. Batman knows that. Batman knows everything about Tony Stark. Bruce Wayne knows everything because he's the world's greatest detective.
World's
He
greatest
already
detective.
knows everything.
And he knows everything about
before it's gonna happen.
about Tony Stark before.
Yes. Before it's
Knows it all.
he comes in 2-3 steps ahead. Tony
Knows
Stark
it
is
all.
reactive
He's there.
instead of proactive.
He's there watching him build every iteration of his suit.
He is.
Okay.
That's what he's good.
Okay.
He might not see him build it, but he's got reconnaissance because he can get in there. He's got Alfred helping him out. You know, they get in, they find what they need to find. Before Batman enters this battle,
Okay.
He knows everything that Tony Stark's going to bring. He knows that if I EMP him, he's got a backup plan for that. So I've got a backup plan for my backup plan for his backup plan for that backup plan for the next backup plan.
All right. So let's just say.
And then there's another backup plan where he just blows up the whole world.
Let's just say that Tony knows Bruce is coming for him and decides to put a bullet through the bottom half of his face. And just end it all, because that's the only part of his body that's not covered. So let's just say he just puts one right in the mouth of Bruce Wayne.
I'm saying my man didn't survive. Dude got his back broken, went into a cave,
got his back broken.
Rudimentary chiropractic work,
knee to the back,
and then jumped
not a bullet
out of this cave.
to the back of the throat.
Nobody else can make this jump.
I know anymore when I'm saying this. I'm just saying that there's vulnerabilities to Batman that I don't think Iron Man has. Until Thanos is still assumptive movie that is about to come out. We've all seen the preview where Thanos pretty much just drops Tony.
That's my point. If his suit doesn't work, he's nothing. Batman is still a great detective without his suit.
You think Bruce Wayne would fare any better against Thanos?
He got out of the cave without his suit. No, not against Thanos. We're not talking about Thanos. I'm talking about against Iron Man.
This is one of those things,
the suit
guys.
To stop working.
This is one of those things you have to decide for us, please.
Because Batman's suit doesn't give him any extra powers. He still has all his powers either way.
A flabbergasting debate to me that this is even a question.
What Tony Stark going to do when batarangs come hit him in the chest and the hands?
This fight would last 3 minutes.
Yeah, because
Tony
Batman
Stark standing tall over everyone. But you have to answer these questions for us, people. You have to.
On Twitter. We'll have Twitter polls up at APA.
Email, Twitter. I don't care what you do to us. Just tell us how you feel. Tell us how much we suck if that's how you feel about it. But I don't care. But point is, Tony Stark's better than Bruce Wayne. That's it. I win this argument.
You're right.
Done. All right.
Tony Stark is better than Bruce Wayne, but Batman is better than Iron Man.
Oh, that's so. Oh, come on. Yes. So please, in all honesty, okay. In all seriousness, I conceded 2 arguments. I gave DC a couple. Just out of the goodness,
you didn't have to give.
Just out of the goodness of my heart, I gave DC a couple. But please, our Twitter followers or anybody subscribing,
we got some new followers. Thanks for following.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Just let us know how you feel about it. Tweet at us, email us, say if you have topic ideas. Please reach out to us. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about. So I'm down for whatever. What do you say?
Batman beats Iron Man every time.
Okay, fine.
Because he sees it coming. He knows it's there. He can't do it. All right. We all know who won all those battles. It's DC, obviously. So let's move into 2-minute ISO. We got an interesting one. We're going to stay a little bit with what we're already talking about. I got a question for you, Eric.
Okay.
If you could be a superhero, not just have any superpower, because this is always asked is what superpower would you choose, but I think it's deeper than that. Let's go deeper. If you could be a superhero, who would you choose and why? But just remember, in choosing this superhero, it brings with it all of the responsibility, villains, everything that they have to deal with as well. So it's not just like, I just want super strength so I can punch the crap out of anybody. Mm-hmm. It's, you got to be this superhero and you got to deal with the crap. If you want to be Thor, you got to deal with Loki all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, that comes with it. It's not just, lightning. You got Loki over there. He's kind of a pain in the ass.
I think you know where I'm going with this. Well, let's take a wild
You're going to take Batman because we just proved that Batman is better.
I had a middle finger up to my friend here. No. I'm going to go with my favorite. And I've looked at this every way that you've asked me to. And I think it's still Tony Stark. I would love to be Tony Stark because I would love to have that awesome intelligence. I would love to have, yes, the burden of the world if I had that capability. The burden of the world on my shoulders, like the way it feels to him, that he has to go through this and he has the capability of solving it. I think that's such an awesome responsibility that I would be honored to have if I was
the ability to solve it too.
That's my point.
The intelligence.
Yes. So, point being is, and his villains, not quite that daunting. I don't know if I would want Thor's villains.
Yeah,
I don't
tough guys.
I don't want Surtur. I don't want Hela.
You want Whiplash.
I don't want to have to deal with Loki. Actually, in reference to that, I actually love having a buddy by my side by the name of James Rhodes.
Right.
Like that would be awesome to have. a buddy that I could just call at any time, even though I didn't call him in Iron Man 2 or anything else. Anyway, but point being is,
Communication
or the
between
Avengers,
members.
we could have used him in the Avengers, but point being is, I like having a bro by my side that's ready to do the same damn thing that I'm ready to do, and it's down for whatever. And then I got a nice little number in Pepper Potts. That's, I got a nice little number in Pepper Potts, and she's very smart and she's very successful, and she also keeps my head on straight, or at least helps me. And I have this whole team that I can deflect off of that has to deal with their own issues on the side, but I don't have to deal with those issues. Cap's 98 years old, and I don't have to deal with that either. So I would want to be Tony Stark just because, well, reason number one, it would be just freaking awesome to wear an Iron Man suit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so that's reason enough for me right there, but all that other stuff I said, that matters too. So who would you be?
I'm going to go my main dude, Spider-Man.
Okay.
So he's
a good
a little
choice.
morose. He's a little bit of a sad sack,
At first, yeah.
He carries the weight of the world on his shoulders a lot of times. He doesn't have that buddy he can look to most of the time. But that's kind of me. I'm kind of a loner. Don't always look for that, but he's got the proportional strength of a spider. So he can lift like 10 times his body weight, which is great. He's got the webbing, whether
It'd be useful.
it would definitely be useful on moving day. He's got the webbing, whether it's organic webbing like the Sam Raimi movies or the web fluid designed by himself. Also genius. Genius high school kid. Just going about life. He's got some smoke shows on his radar too. He's got Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane.
He's got options.
Yeah, Betty Brant, Liz Allen. He's got them all for a nerdy kid. He hits it up.
Zendaya.
Michelle. It's not going to Michelle.
I'm calling a wild card here. Shuri. I'm calling a wild card here. Shuri from Black Panther. So anyway, go ahead.
He's got the agility and the spider sense would be really cool. You always know when something's
really
going
cool.
on. Yeah. He's got some tough villains though. That would be the hard part. He's got Doc Ock and Green Goblin, Mysterio. Mysterio's always been one of my favorite villains of Spider-Man's. I don't know why. He's just very theatrical.
Yeah. Okay. You just like the show he puts on.
Yeah. Craven the Hunter. Who's there's just so many. But see, that's what I like about Spider-Man is he's got a great set. Like Iron Man, he can't name many villains that that are in his rogues gallery. Spider-Man's got a really big catalog of villains that he's going to go. Venom,
Well, it's
Carnage.
been going on for decades.
Right.
So, yeah.
But yeah, I would go Spider-Man. He's my dude, and just be cool to swing around town on those webs all the time.
I think you take Vulture?
Oh yeah, Vulture's not a problem.
Yeah.
Vulture's he's an old dude.
Turn a plane out of the sky like you did in Homecoming?
I don't know if I could do that, but with the
You'd like
proportional strength of a spider, I probably could. Yeah. So I'm going with my dude Spider-Man. He's always been my favorite, and always got a good chance to get away with the webs.
Exactly. There's always an escape hatch, I guess you could say, with Spider-Man. And same with Tony Stark, I guess you could say. There's always a way to cut the wire instead of lay on the wire, I guess, as they said in the Avengers. But anyway, no, it's just that's what Roger. Yeah.
Did they say that? No.
So let us know what you think. What superhero would you want to be if you could pick one? But just know that you got to take all their baggage with them.
Yep.
So I mean, if you want to be Thor, that means you got to go talk to Surtur. You got to go up against Hela.
Those dark elves, Malekith.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't too bad. Anyway, but let us know what you think. We've got a bunch of ways for you to get a hold of us. Cal, what are those?
Email at a podcast about something at gmail.com. On Twitter at APA something. Right?
Yep.
And we have a website now. Visit it, apodcastaboutsomething.com. We're building it up every day, and we'll see you there. Come visit us.
We're pumped to hear from you.
Yeah. Listen to us, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes. There's one more. Tune in. Do that one. Sorry, tune in. We'll get better. Pay us, and we'll remember you better next time.
Thanks, Tune In.
Yeah, thank you. Listen to us, follow us, talk to us. We'll have polls up so you guys can debate this along with us. We're going to be getting back in a couple of weeks doing March Madness next, I think.
March Madness next, but if you're looking for us on more of a comic book / nerd scale. We're probably going to be doing something in anticipation for Infinity War, and obviously right after Infinity War will be
probably a week after. We'll give people time to see it.
May is going to be a busy month for us because we're going to do Infinity War. We're going to do Deadpool. We're probably going to want to do a little something on the Solo movie that's going to come out. Deadpool 2 and Solo. So we might combine those.
Hopefully we want to do something on Solo. Hopefully it's good enough. I like Ron Howard as a director, so it should be good.
So if you're listening to us then, that's what you can anticipate. If
you want more from the MCU, we got episode 2, a podcast about the MCU. We got episode 8, a podcast about Black Panther. Mm-hmm. Did we do another? No, those were the only 2.
I think that's the only ones we've been able to do so far. But check those out if you haven't already, and we appreciate you listening in to us. Thank you so much. This is why we do it.
Stay classy.